Welcome to Has God Heard From You today. I hope you had a great service today. Hope you went to church. And we're going to get right to, you all, this is Elder Henry Williams.
Yes.
The brother of Elder Williams. And I know you all have been wondering, Elder Williams. You remember Elder Williams. Welcome, Elder Williams. He's the one that would always bring Elder Williams to the set.
Mm-hmm.
And who's also a pastor, a minister, pastor. Elder.
Yes.
And wow, I had been just waiting for you to come on.
Mm-hmm.
And now I asked and you said, hey, I'm ready. Yeah. And we want to first start, for those of you who did not know Elder Williams, we want to just celebrate the life he lived. Take these few minutes, and who's better to tell you about him? You go to the website and see all the stories. He was the man with the Job-like faith.
Yeah.
And you can rejoice because you know, absent from the body, present with the Lord.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to do first, and then whatever else God has placed on your heart. But we came back just to share a life when you have a relative that, Elder Williams, we have so many people dying now young. And I always say and wonder, and I'll pray, Lord, I pray they were saved.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not over when you die.
That's right. But, we know when we lose a loved one, we always cry, and, that's common.
Yes, sir.
But when we realize that a family member is saved, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's saved. Mm-hmm. My sister had called me when my brother, I hate to say the word passed,
mm-hmm.
when my brother went to glory, went to heaven.
Yes, sir.
Because I was separated from the physical body,
mm-hmm.
but in the spiritual world, I know that he's there to die or to sleep.
Yes, sir.
And being saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. You see what I'm saying?
That was him.
I mean, what a blessing. It's a blessing all by
him.
itself.
Yes, sir.
It's all by itself.
Yes,
and I got a lot to say about
my
brother.
Come on, because we want to celebrate his life.
Yeah.
He lived his life.
Oh, yeah. My brother was the holy man.
Yeah.
And I can say that not because of my brother, but because of the spirit that was in my brother.
Yeah.
My brother, he was holy, like 24/7. I don't care. Whenever we talked to my brother, his favorite words were, God said.
Yeah.
And when God said, and we would just sit there and listen to my brother. Yeah. Oh, my brother he was a holy man. I mean, he was a holy man. I'm not saying because he was my brother. I'm saying because the Spirit of God lived in my brother. It was a daily thing.
Real.
It wasn't, I hate to say a practice, but it was inside of him.
Just natural.
Every time he opened his mouth, you couldn't. I tried to find fault in him.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But I could not find,
fault.
Even when he was young, we knew nothing about holiness. Yeah. But when he was young, it was certain things that Ronnie would not do. It was certain things that he would not say, places that he would not go. We thought something was wrong with the boy. Yeah. But we didn't realize the boy was a holy man.
Yes.
And from his youth.
Yes.
And he was the first holy man that I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that was my brother.
And look, I had the opportunity, and like I said, go to the website because he's still there.
Yeah.
And people are still reading his story and wanting to know what happened to Elder Williams. And I told you, when Elder Williams, 2 weeks before he passed,
mm-hmm.
Elder Williams had called me, and he always had a word for me from the Lord. And the reason I say that and know it's true, because the Lord had already told me, and it's like, how did this man know this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a paper that Elder Williams told me, you all, and you know how I am. I believe in angels. I had an angel presentation. I believe that God does what he says he will do.
Mm-hmm.
And Elder Williams told me, and I had no way of knowing or believing that Elder Williams would not be here today.
That's right.
He told me, he said, Sister Deborah, he was so happy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Sister Deborah, oh, if I could tell you, but I can't tell you, but I want to tell you this. He said, but God has something so in store for you. He said, but you are going to have faith like never before for these things to come to pass. Now, during that week, I had already been in prayer and meditation. Lord, I just can't do this. You know, how am I supposed to do this? And how, but for that man to tell me, God says, and I wrote down everything he told me that the Lord had placed on his heart for me. And he was so excited to tell me. But the one that stands out now, which I'm utilizing a year later. See, when he passed, I didn't know where the paper was or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I went through my most trying times a few months ago, the Lord let me find that paper. And it said on there, the first thing was, and I wrote down just what he said, Sister Deborah, your faith has to be stronger than ever to bring these things to pass.
Yeah, that's it.
And it had to be at that time. See, it wasn't for me to have that paper then.
Yeah.
It was for me to pass it. Elder Williams, you all, walked in to be filmed. Someone had told him about the program. And he walked in, and at the time he walked in to be filmed, he came in with 10% heart function.
10, that's right.
10%.
That's right.
I'll never
It
forget
shouldn't have
it.
been walking or talking.
None.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until we sitting here having a good time in the chair,
Yeah.
and he says this, and I'm looking at this man like 10% heart function, and you walking and had a praise in his spirit.
Yeah.
Go to the website, you all, and you'll see 3 or 4 films that I've uploaded of Elder Williams. And you're supposed to live your life right.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you're gone, so we're celebrating the life that he lived. We're still talking about
That's
it.
right. Daily. Daily. I realize if a person stand before God daily, I mean, it's nothing else left but to do the will of God. If you're in the presence of God, if you praying and fasting and believing and trusting, put your whole heart in God, and when God speak, I mean, it just like pow. My thing.
It is though.
It is. You know,
It is.
it just because that's why he could prophesy.
Yes, he did.
And not have to say, God said. I mean, it was like.
And they gave him up. I mean, he had I don't know how many heart attacks.
He had 21 strokes. He had went to a hospital. I think it was in Dallas, and they had given up on him.
Yeah.
They said, "Well, Mr. Williams, you will not live for the next 30 days. You won't be here." My brother looked at him and laughed. The same people from Dallas called his house, expecting, listen, the devil expected for my brother to be dead. Yeah. And my brother answered the phone. And
I remember.
And the people were just shocked. They said, Mr. Williams, he said, yes, I'm still here.
And it was a year or 2 after that, wasn't
That's
it?
right. That's right. And then he had surgery.
I remember.
And the doctors gave him up. They said, if we operate on him, he'll never wake up. And we talked to our brother.
I remember.
He said, I said, man, what you want to do? He said, I want to go because God said that I'm going to be all right. And then he laid in the hospital for a week. And the people said, well, let's pull the plug. And I said, devil, you must be crazy.
No.
But I remember what he said. He said, God said, I'm going to be all right.
Before he went into surgery.
Before he went out into surgery.
Yeah. Wait a minute. We're going to have to come back. This is just as much power as Elder Williams. He walked with his brother, and he knows his brother. Look, you all, we're going to come right back. This is Elder Henry Williams. We're talking about Elder Ronnie Williams. Go to the website. Everything he's telling you, you can see on my website his testimony. We will be right back Thank you. Everything is in God's timing.
Yeah.
It's His timing for us to do this right now.
Yeah.
Welcome back, and we don't want to miss and waste any time. We want to get right back to and tell the story again when he was in the hospital. See, I shared, I know what he's talking about. I only had maybe 2 or 3 years to know Elder Williams. I'm not really sure, but everything he's telling you, if you want to hear Elder Williams tell you himself,
Right.
if you need your faith lifted,
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
my website and look on the titles, Elder Williams. Everything he's telling you, you can hear it yourself. I remember the story Elder Williams told about the doctors, especially when he answered the phone and they didn't expect him to,
Oh, yeah.
you
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
And remember when he said he was wearing this thing, he had to wear it 24 hours. It's a medical thing.
Yeah, it's some kind of deal they had in his skin.
Yes.
And he refused.
He told him.
Yeah. They said, if you pull this out, Mr. Williams, the doctor, if you pull this out, Mr. Williams, you will die. My brother laughed at him again. He said, I cannot live and do the will of God with this bag on my side and this needle in my arm. How can I do that? How can I move? How can I witness with all this stuff on me? He said, take it out.
Yeah.
They said, Mr. Williams, you're going to die. He said, take it out.
I remember he told me that he had worn it a little while, and I remember he called me. He was in Texas with his son.
Yes, he was in Dallas.
Yeah, with his son. And he told me, he said, Sister Deborah, he called Miss Deborah, he said, they have all this stuff on me.
Yes.
He said exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what is God telling you? He said, God told me to take it off.
That's right.
And he went back to the doctors.
That's right.
And he told them. And see, you all, your relationship with God, Elder Williams, talking to you, it's like talking to your brother. You have that same fire. You all, and when Elder Williams passed, it really messed with me a little bit. And so I had gone to the Lord, and the Lord gave me Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, lean not, you know, to my own understanding.
That's right.
And that's the only way
That's right.
I was able to kind of deal with that, because this man, his faith was so strong, and he did everything God told him to do.
Yeah.
He lived that life, and God kept him here to do what he needed to do. He was such an encouragement to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And even in his death, I found that paper, and that paper now is so strong in my life. I keep it where I can just pick it up, and when I get a little weak about what I'm doing, I said, this man said to me, my faith has to be strong through
That's right.
ever. But it wasn't anything that God hadn't revealed to me, but to let him put it in words like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying all that to say, you all, and Elder Williams can tell you, your relationship with God is personal. Elder Williams couldn't have that kind of faith he had
That's right.
if he didn't have a personal relationship with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
He couldn't do all.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in. Remember the time he was in church? You were there, and
Yeah.
the heart thing made him feel like.
The Spirit of the Lord was moving so good that night. We was in Bible class, and my brother Jack, he was prophesying, he was praying, and he was praising God, and all of a sudden he just he fell dead.
Tell him he had a pacemaker. He had a pacemaker.
He had a pacemaker, a defibrillator, and it's quit. it didn't shock him.
Yeah.
He fell dead.
Yeah.
My brother fell dead.
Yeah.
We had a nurse that was in there.
Right,
He fell dead. So they called 911. For some reason, I did not get upset.
Yeah.
My brother fell dead.
Yeah.
And before the medic got there, this boy got up. And then he was sitting down, and the people came in there with the thing, how they put you in, and they checked him, and they said, "You ought to be dead." My brother laughed at him. God ain't ready for me yet. You see?
Yeah.
People's.
Yeah.
When I start talking, I just can't help it.
Testify, tell them. Yeah.
People's got a tendency they say, life and death is a part of life. Oh, come on, that is so wrong. Death is the opposite of life.
Okay.
It's kind of like fire and water. Death separate. How can it be a part of life when it separates?
Yeah.
I love my brother.
Yeah.
My brother was the first sign of holiness that I have ever known.
Wow.
But when he left, and I know, people said, and I realized that a fact and the truth is different.
Okay.
Because the fact is not always the truth.
Okay.
But the truth is always the fact. It's a fact that a woman could not have a baby without a man. It's a fact that a man cannot walk on water, but we know it's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? We need to separate
come on, fix that. Come on, fix it with him, because Mary did it, didn't she?
Yeah,
And who was it? Peter walked on the water. Until he doubted a little bit.
That's right. Long as we don't doubt, and from the life of my brother had no doubt. He had no doubt. None whatsoever. He had no.
How do you get
doubt.
a faith like that?
That's what I'm saying.
How do you get?
That's what I'm saying.
That's why they called him. I think Pastor Sims called him the man with the Job-like faith. How do you get that? How do you get a faith like that with no doubt? I'm not there.
Neither am I.
I'm not there. But this man, it's like no doubt. There may be some of you who are in that position. I'm happy for you. Call me and tell me how you get there. And I'm not being funny. I'm telling you, yes, I pray.
That's right.
Yes, I do all of that. Yes, I fast.
Yeah.
I believe. But if the doctor tells me to pull this thing out, or don't pull this out, or don't, because this is what you need to wear this 24/7.
Yeah.
I had a young cousin in his 30s who they put one of those on. But Elder Williams said, Miss Deborah, I can't.
That's right.
I can't wear this.
That's right.
I say, but what did God? Because I didn't want him to take it out.
Yeah.
I knew 10% heart function, and you gonna take that out. Yeah. But that man took that out, and he still lived 2 years more.
Right, exactly.
This man was walking around, you all, walking around in his city. He
walked everywhere that he went. He walked because it was a choice for him to do. When he walked, he would see people and he was witness.
Yes.
He didn't drive a car. He would walk daily, just walk around with 10%.
Yes.
With 10%. Shouldn't have been walking, should have been out of breath. You see what I'm saying? But he was walking daily. It was a daily thing. He walked to the barber shop, and the guys at the barber shop, it was a pleasure to see my brother walk in the barber shop because they knew they had a word from God.
Yes, sir. And we're sharing with you the life, because don't you want people to talk about you this way when you're gone? He lived his life. You didn't have to wonder, was he a Christian?
That's right.
You knew he didn't have to go around saying,
that's right,
I'm a Christian.
That's right.
His light shine. I can't even think of that scripture. You all know I'll mess a scripture. Let your light so shine that men may see your good works.
Right.
Something, that. I know where it's found. I just can't remember it right now. I love it when they call me and tell me where it is. I love you all doing that. This is Elder Henry Williams, and we're going to do a part 2 on him because we want him to tell you. He's telling you about his brother right now. I had the pleasure and the joy of having Elder Ronnie Williams in my life. And I know he's touched your life. And we hope we can even tell the barbershop. I hope you can get the message to the barbershop whenever the Lord allows me to air this.
Right.
That we're going to talk about a man that, as you said, a holy man.
Yeah.
His life showed what he was.
That's right.
What we're asking you all this day and time, and I'll let Elder Williams do that, this is more of his lane. He'll tell you if you haven't accepted Jesus as your Savior.
It's high time.
I'm being told to wrap it up, and we're going to get him to tell you that. We'll be right back with Elder Williams. I am so glad you agreed to help me celebrate the life of your brother.
It's a pleasure.
We'll be right back, you all. Wow. I'm Deborah with Has God Heard From You Today? I'm spreading the focus of seeking God more, talking to God more, and listening.
God didn't stop performing miracles.
Come on.
The biblical days is still here. People stop believing.
So join us right here, Sundays, 3:30 p.m. We're encouraging others with our testimonies. If you have a testimony and you're not ashamed to tell it, call me. Has God heard from you today? Welcome back, you all. And if you just joined in, this is Elder Henry Williams, and we're talking about his brother, Elder Ronnie Williams. And I know a lot of you know him and probably had been wondering, well, what happened to him? For those of you who don't know him, go to the website, and everything his brother has said, you can hear Elder Williams tell you this himself.
Yeah.
A true man of God. Didn't have to brag on it.
That's right. That's right.
He just walked
Yeah.
the walk.
Yeah. His life was accountable. It wasn't hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't nothing hidden. When it comes to nothing in this man's life was hidden. Everything was on top. His belief, he tell you what he believed, he tell you what he feel, he obeyed God, he walked that walk, and he talked that talk. I mean, he did it. He did it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was,
Yeah.
like Pastor Sam said, he was an upright.
Yes,
he
he called him a man with the Job-like faith.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he reminded me because the things he went through physical illness did not stop him.
That's right. That's right.
You wouldn't have known this man was this sick if you didn't know his testimony.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, because you'll see if you go to the website, you'll see when he sat here and told me, I'm talking about Elder Williams, he sat in this chair and told me he had 10% heart function. I said, right now? I mean, are you talking about,
Yeah.
you have this right now? And then he was talking about all the strokes he had
Yeah.
and how they said that he would not be here and he shouldn't be here. The doctors didn't even understand this.
He went in a coma one time also. Mm-hmm. Went in a coma, and another time where they said, well, we don't know. Oh, we don't know if he gonna make it. Wasn't no doubt, because he wasn't ready to leave. He had some work to do.
Yes.
He was in a coma for, I think, for about a week in Monroe. And, people's just, how people, we being saved, and we say we saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, but we want to give up so easy. We trust God for a headache, but we don't trust him for no heart disease.
Come on with that.
You see what I'm saying? We got this any-beany trust in God, but when it comes to the maximum, God is the same.
He is.
He's God of a headache, he God of a stroke, cancer, whatever, diabetes. He the same God.
The same.
But we just put our little faith, well, I got a headache. And he woke up. When he woke up out the coma, and I love to see the doctors when they surprised, like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's alive.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I mean, God is so good. I mean,
Yeah,
he's an
he
awesome
is.
God.
He is, and he's doing, as my sister says, the biblical days are still here. He's still performing miracles.
That's right.
People stop believing.
That's right.
And Elder Williams he was several miracles.
Yeah.
You remember when he said he was in a coma or something, and he came out preaching?
Oh, that was in Monroe.
That was the one.
That was in Monroe.
They thought he wasn't going to make it, and he came out preaching.
Yeah.
And I remember in that he told me he was, that I can't remember exactly, so I just don't want to put words, but I just remember he came out preaching,
Yeah.
and they thought, you all, and that's what I told you a few Sundays ago, or maybe last Sunday. When you die and your family members are on life support and all this, God is still talking to them.
That's
You
right.
might, Elder Williams was proof of that. My sister is proof of that.
Mhm.
My grandmother is proof of that. You think it's over, but it's not over. When you are hooked up and we can't see what's going on, they're just laying there with their eyes open.
That's right.
But you said life just beginning.
That's right.
Whether you come back or whether you go on.
That's right.
And that's why when we come back and do part 2 with Elder Williams, we want you to know, we want to tell you, people are dying so young, they're doing these senseless killings.
That's right.
And this and that, but it's not over.
That's right.
It's not over. Elder Williams, I remember him telling me while he was in that coma, he said he was preaching and the devil was trying to get him. You know, I can't remember all of it, but I'm telling you, and they tell me it's time to wrap up. We'll come back with that a little, because you need to know when you die, it's not over. Elder Williams, God has been a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be here.
We have to go. They're telling me I'm late. If you're not spending time with God, you're too busy. Tune in next week for part 2 of Elder Henry Williams. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
God Almighty.
We're not here to tell you that going through is easy. We're here to tell you that if you believe in God and you have accepted Jesus as your personal Savior, then you have His word, you have His promise that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Has God heard from you today?
If you would like to share your testimony or advertise your business or an upcoming event on this program, please call 318-222-2954. Also, visit our website at www.hasgodheardfromutoday.org.